This is a message for anyone out there who might be struggling with some sort of any type of mental illness. If you're bipolar, if you have narcissistic personality disorder, if you have psychopathy, if you have sociopathy, if you have schizophrenia, if you have depression, it doesn't matter what it is. I just want you to know that it's okay. I know that society probably treats you unkindly whenever anybody finds out about your mental illness, or just in general. And that's not fair. I've seen a lot of people that talk about people with mental illnesses like sociopathy or psychopathy or narcissistic personality disorder, and say that anybody who has these disorders are pieces of shit or fucked up, or they say that they're unredeemable, or just anything, just a ton of stuff that's just unnecessary and uncalled for and unempathetic. And I just wanted to say that that's unfair. And it's a similar thing with people with schizophrenia. People are constantly afraid of people with schizophrenia, or they say that people with depression are just over exaggerating, and they tell them that they need to suck it up or something like that. But that's not how a mental illness works. You can't just be okay just because somebody told you to be okay. It's not your fault that you've been hurt. You have been hurt. You've been hurt really deeply. It could be childhood trauma. Could be anything really. But I know that you've been hurt. And even if you haven't been hurt and you were born with whatever you're struggling with, like some people say people with mental illnesses are, and I think that that's true to an extent. Some people with mental illnesses are born with their mental illnesses, but even if that's the case, that's not your fault. It's not fair to treat you poorly just because of something that you can't control. You can't control the way that you were born. It's not like people thought about coming to this world thinking about how they're gonna have a mental illness so that they can make people's lives worse or whatever. That's not something that you can control. Society looks at mentally ill people in a really judgmental and uncompassionate way. And that's wrong. We need to all learn to have more empathy and more compassion. The truth of the matter is that some people have mental illnesses so bad to where it drives them to hurt people. They have voices in their head constantly screaming at them, telling them to hurt people, and the voices don't stop until they listen. Or people that the only way that they can feel something is by hurting other people. They don't know how to control that. They don't know how to be better. We need to monitor people's mental health more. We need to ask people if they're okay more often. We need to get people the help that they need more often. And we need to approach these people with compassion rather than judgment and hatred. Because it's not their fault that they're like that. It's not your fault that you're like that if you are struggling with mental illness. But it is important that you reach out, because people can't help you if you don't tell them that you're struggling. It doesn't have to be this way. It can be a little bit easier maybe for you. Maybe there is no cure for a mental illness, but there is help for it. I just want to tell you tell everybody that when somebody reaches out to you, please don't reject them. Take their hand and guide them towards the light. Because that's the only way we're going to make it out of this mess that we've created for ourselves in society. People who have mental illnesses are constantly thrown in prison, beaten up, treated like shit. Inside of those prisons and outside of them. Because of something that they can't control. The things that go on inside prisons a lot of the times are horrific. It's not even just the inmates who are messed up. A lot of the times it's the prison guards too. They strip you of your human rights. They treat you like an animal. They knock you around. And tell you you don't deserve to have your rights anymore because they say that it's because you've violated the law. But that law is solely based within the intent of controlling people and making their lives miserable for the sake of being able to control them. It's all about control. Let me tell you, revenge, vengeance, punishment, and the things that you call justice are what's consuming this world. And it's what's going to destroy us in the end. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. And to those of you who believe in righteous judgment from God, let me tell you something. God is bigger than all of us. Well, I guess you could say He is us, but He stretches beyond that too. God stretches beyond the universe into the multiverse. into whatever's beyond that. Every single sin that we commit, every single wrongdoing, is just a fleeting moment for him. It's the snap of the fingers. This whole world, it started as dust, and it will crumble back into dust. And its existence was nothing but the snap of a finger to him. What makes you think that a being like that would lower himself to our standard and care about punishment or judgment? God is kind and compassionate. He has love for all of us. He transcends things like anger and judgment and punishment. He's moved past those things. He's beyond them. And why wouldn't he be? If God really was someone who took vengeance and took punishment upon people, that would make him no better than us. And that's the truth. Things don't have to be like this. We can still have compassion and empathy. And instead of throwing people in a cell and locking them away forever, and treating them like they don't deserve to exist, we can get those people help. We can make the choice to reach out to them in kindness. Because you know what God really stands for? God is love in and of itself. God is the embodiment of love. God is the embodiment of compassion and truth and justice. And you know what I think real justice is? I think that real justice is people being able to come to terms with the pain of their past and move forward as a result, and to grow and to become better people as a result. That's what I think justice is. Not punishment. And I want you all to know that I love you. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to try to make this world a better place. I'm not sure how, because, well, I live in the woods inside a tent, and I have nothing, but I'm gonna find a way. And just remember, I know you're hurting, but it's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel pain. Just remember not to let it consume you. And don't give up. Don't ever give up. Because as long as you're alive, you can make changes. As long as you don't give up, you can make changes. And I think that that's about all I had to say. So blessed be everybody. Have a beautiful day. Peace. And I love you all. See ya.